My name is Matthew Murphy. I decided to join the ESPN First Take Contest. Um, I call in your show, Stephen A. as Lionel from New Orleans, if you remember me. But I want to get right into it. I listened to the show this morning, and the debate that opened the show is what I want to engage in. In particular, Max Kellerman's argument, but also Stephen A. I thought went way too soft on the response or rebuttal. So Max Kellerman, and I'm paraphrasing, is basically talking about Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz, the two rookies quarterbacks this season. And his argument is he'd take Wentz because Prescott has a better team around him, and he was emphasizing the offensive line. Well, if we look at Philly's offensive line this year, and these ratings come from Pro Football Focus, by the way, so they're fairly reputable. I think a little bit better than the eye test, if you know anything about Pro Football Focus. But Lane Johnson, the right tackle, has been almost as efficient as Tyron Smith, the left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Jason Peters is the other tackle for the Phillies, for Philadelphia. And if you combine Lane and Jason Peters, the tackles, which is the most important positions for protecting the passer, both Peters and Lane Johnson have been more effective at pass protection. So Wentz, this idea that Wentz has had no blocking all year is ridiculous and debunked by multiple metrics. But since Lane Johnson was suspended for PED use after the Detroit Lions game, Carson Wentz has been in a free fall, basically. He's posted QBRs of 27.1 and 23, which is basically bottom of the league. Prescott, on the other hand, when he lost Tyron Smith for a couple of games, posted QBRs of 98.1 and 85.7. That's top three any given week in the league. So if you consider the metrics on another scale, Prescott versus Wentz, it's been pretty much all Prescott. Wentz has 1,367 combined passing and rushing yards, 8 combined touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 6 fumbles. Prescott, 1,553 combined passing and rushing yards, 10 combined touchdowns, only 1 interception and 4 fumbles. Somehow, it's Prescott that's gained this reputation of a short yardage passer, but the stats debunk that as well. Prescott, despite having a much higher completion percentage, has a higher yards per completion, and of course, a higher yards per attempt. He's easily the most efficient passer. And he's arguably the league MVP right now with the league leading QBR of 82.9. And his team is 5-1. Wentz, on the other hand, is more middle of the pack, and he has 2 abysmal outputs. And his current QBR is 46, which is 29th among qualifiers. It's also obvious that Prescott does benefit from Ezekiel Elliott in the rushing attack. Also, Ezekiel Elliott benefits from the passing acumen of Dak Prescott. But whether Dez Bryant has been on the field or not, Prescott has shown no drop-off whatsoever. And it's really eerily similar to what I was hearing in the Andrew Luck versus Russell Wilson comparison. In the beginning of 2012, all the scouts were basically rating Andrew Luck as the next coming elite passer, and nobody talked that much about Russell Wilson. They had questions about his size. He's proven to be the better quarterback, the more durable quarterback. And I'd argue Prescott and Wentz it's even more of a gap than Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson. But the comparison once again highlights pro scouts' inability to correctly assess dual threat quarterbacks. It's clear to me by all metrics and by my eye test, Dak Prescott is the better quarterback.